I want to go a little bit today, say hello, and go over the group presentation. You'll notice in your documents folder on Blackboard, I've uploaded both the assignment sheet and the rubric for group presentations. So let's take a look at that. It's in its own folder called Group Presentation. Who would have known? And we're going to do poetry this semester. I want to introduce you guys to famous poets, and not only introduce you to them, but I want you to, to sort of teach a class in order to get experience with public speaking. So you'll see there's a list of 15 poets, and once you get your group assignment, which will be next class, then your group is going to get together and decide which poet you want to do. All right. As I've said in class, one unlucky group is going to only have 1 week to prepare. So that group is going to get first pick, right? We're going to have a draft. So whoever the group who's going first is going to get first pick. And so then we'll pick authors, poets along those lines. All right. So your presentation will be a total of 15 minutes. I want you as a group to take about 5 minutes to introduce a poem by the poet, right? That's why we're doing poetry, so that you can, we can read a poem in class together in 5 minutes. We can't do that with like a novel or a short story or play. So if you have someone like William Shakespeare, do one of his poems, not one of his plays, because we can't read an entire play in 5 minutes unless we're Superman. All right. You're required to, so after your first 5 minutes, you present a poem, and then each one of you individually will talk for 5 minutes, and you'll talk about some aspect of that poet's. You could talk about biography, talk about that poet's life and work, other poems that poet wrote, the intellectual contributions that the poet made to the world, and why the poet is famous, right? How you decide to divvy up or divide those topics is completely up to you, but I gave you those guidelines, but they're not requirements, right? I just want you to sort of teach a class, make it interesting and practice your public speaking skills, which is the whole point of this group assignment. You're required to have a visual aid. Your visual aid can be a PowerPoint or Prezi presentation. Just make sure you go through it if it's a Prezi and that it actually works, and make sure you are actually able to log in. Last semester I had a bunch of people, we wasted 10 minutes of class time trying to log into their Prezi account. So if you've got those, if you want to do Prezi, make sure it goes smoothly. You can do handouts. You can make a poster, go elementary school on us, make a poster, make a diorama. That's the thing in the little shoebox. Those are really fun. You could even do a sculpture for you artistic types. What I don't want, though, is I want no videos. Okay, people showing, YouTube videos of, movie trailers and stuff that they didn't make. So for this assignment, we don't want any videos or music or puppet shows or interpretive dance. Nothing that takes up time, okay? Because the time is going to be spent on group presentation. The videos, you're going to make your videos for your video assignment, and, you'll find out about that later, okay? So let's take a moment to look at the rubric for group presentation, which is also in your documents folder. It's labeled in blue. So the four things that I'm grading each individual on is preparedness, eye contact, voice projection and enunciation. That's one thing, and nervous tics. Okay. Now I will go through some of these in class, but here's a quick overview. Preparedness. I want it to be obvious that you have prepared. If it's obvious that you haven't prepared, then you're going to fail. Right? Some people get up there and they have not prepared at all. Okay, so individually, I want to see each one of you having prepared, maybe even having practiced your speech once before you actually stand up in front of the class. All right, so that's in order to pass that for preparedness. Eye contact is number 2. Eye contact is very important in public speaking. You don't want to sit there and look at your cards. Or I had someone last semester who actually turned their back and read the slides of their PowerPoint presentation off of the board with their back to the audience. Don't do this. You want to, yes, you can look down at your notes, but you want to look your audience in your eye, and not just me, because I'm the teacher grading you. Some people would look up and look right at me the whole time. That's really creepy and distracting. You want to look at everyone, okay? Glance down at your notes, find your place. Yes, look at people. Okay, that's good public speaking. All right, so that's eye contact. Voice projection. Some people would get up there and whisper, and you say, don't whisper. Okay, project your voice. The people in the back, I'll probably be sitting in the back. The people in the back need to hear what you're saying. Okay, and enunciate your words. If you're slurring, like you just walked out of Shenasties and it's 3 a.m, you're like, hey guys, what's up? I got a Whataburger. No, we want you to enunciate your words. You say, hey guys, let's go to Whataburger. I'd really like a taquito. That's enunciation. It might sound stupid, right? You don't talk like that all the time, but if we can't understand you, that's going to hit your grade, right? We don't want your grade to be docked because I can't understand you. So enunciate, project your voice. Finally, the most difficult part about public speaking is nervous tics, right? People will say, they'll say, a lot, or like Shakespeare, like totally lived, like in England, like, England, Shakespeare. Yeah. We don't want nervous tics. So there's vocal tics, right? Saying like, saying a lot. And then there's physical tics, right? It's very good to make hand gestures, right? You know, like gestures that make sense. But if you're like just doing this, and then Shakespeare was a really good author and I really like his poetry and his poetry is full of imagery, that's very distracting. Another one is shifting weight. If you're constantly shifting weight like an elephant, if you ever go to the zoo, you'll see elephants do this. They constantly shift their weight back and forth. And it's really distracting if you're standing in front of someone talking. Okay. So, preparedness, eye contact, voice projection and enunciation, and nervous tics. We want to cut down on the fidgeting. Now, some people are very, very scared of public speaking, right? So all of this sounds terrifying to you, especially the nervous tics. That's why they're nervous tics, because you're nervous, right? How to get not nervous when talking in front of people is 1, to prepare, and 2, to practice, right? This presentation is 5% of your grade, okay? So it's important. Practice it. Take time to prepare and practice, and you'll do fine. I promise. All right. So, thanks for watching. Quarles out.